Before we start the video, I just want to say this video does not contain any spoilers in it whatsoever, and I'm only using officially released gameplay footage here, so basically I'm not using any of my own gameplay footage, so it's only the trailers and marketing material. That being said, with Final Fantasy XVI, people have been wondering how this game would perform in terms of sales. Many people have been thinking that this game was actually going to flop. There were rumors that Square Enix was panicking over the game's pre-orders. Then when you combine that with the game's PS5 exclusivity, and the fact that only 38 million PS5s are sold, and this game was not going to be coming to PC anytime soon, it seemed like Final Fantasy XVI was boxed in. Honestly, even I had my share of concerns about how the game would perform sales-wise. Today, I have some very good news to share. Final Fantasy XVI has sold 3 million units worldwide. Thus far, this makes the game the fastest-selling PS5 exclusive. Not that there are many of those. And it makes it the 6th fastest selling PlayStation exclusive overall. This includes PS4 titles, whereas Final Fantasy VII Remake sits at the 3rd fastest selling exclusive. This is an absolutely impressive feat. So how does this compare to previous Final Fantasy titles? It roughly matches Final Fantasy VII Remake's 3.5 million first week sales. But with that being said, Final Fantasy VII Remake sold to an install base of 110 million PS4s, and this game sold 3 million to 38 million PS5s. That is a tremendous amount of momentum for Final Fantasy XVI. I mean, I was predicting like 1 million first week sales, 2 million at the most, but for it to be roughly on par with FF7R, that's not something I was expecting. Now compared to Final Fantasy XV, which sold 5 million right out of the gate, this may seem like a drop off to some. However, Final Fantasy XV launched into an install base of 50 million PS4s and 20 million Xbox Ones, for a total potential install base of 70 million. When you do the math, this is actually surprisingly good. Currently, Final Fantasy XVI still holds the crown for the fastest selling FF title, and simply due to the fact that this game was locked to PS5, there was no way that it was going to take the crown from it. Nor do I believe that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be able to do it either. Indeed, FF15 is likely to continue holding that crown for quite some time, though I do believe with this momentum, it's entirely possible for this game to reach 10 million lifetime sales. This is all incredibly good for the Final Fantasy franchise. Guys, it means that we're not dead, we're still selling units, and ultimately we are still relevant. And that's not all for Final Fantasy and Square Enix news today. It's been recently revealed that Microsoft almost purchased Square Enix. Yikes, I know. This has become public information thanks to the hearing between Microsoft and the FTC. This document from 2019 was submitted as part of the evidence for the hearings, where Microsoft listed reasons why it should acquire Square Enix, them specifically listing that it would help Xbox's presence in Asian markets, adding titles such as Kingdom Hearts, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy to its roster. Currently, Microsoft is missing out on all mainline Final Fantasy titles, as Square signed an exclusivity contract with Sony. Another reason that Microsoft wanted to buy Square Enix is for the mobile segment growth for Xbox, and that it would have helped future mobile exclusive Game Pass offerings, as it seems that eventually Microsoft wants to be able to expand Game Pass to mobile as well, and with Square Enix having what Microsoft described as a robust mobile native portfolio. For whatever reason, Microsoft did not proceed forward with their purchase plans for Square Enix, and thank God, as I much rather see this company remain independent. In full honesty, I'm absolutely tired of Sony and Microsoft buying up everything. And also interestingly is that Sony hasn't purchased Square Enix, and yet they continue to purchase these expensive exclusivity contracts. It does seem like at some point it would make sense for Sony to just buy Square Enix. Not that I want to see that happen, as I am tired of all of these big acquisitions. And ultimately, I'm glad this didn't happen. Shout out to patron Jonathan Simpson and the rest of the Ultima community.